So that shiny new game just came out, Stray Souls. And you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. The game's beginning is way dark and unexpected. A father is in the bathroom, drunk, covered in what looks like pee and feces. I think he's hallucinating because it shows his wife cooking what appears to be a human arm. He shotguns her in the back, and after this moment I was like, whoa, what is this game? This is wild. Then it shows his son and daughter both eating humans, and at this point I think it's clear that he's not in his right mind. He shoots and kills everyone. Cut to 18 years later, and now a guy is on the PC typing. As I was looking around, I found a dog to pet, so I did that obviously. The first mission is literally to pick up laundry, so I'll just skip over that and go over some notes I found instead. There are several notes around the house, but they all explain that his grandma, that he's never met, has left him everything that she owns. Her house, car, money, all of it. The house he's in right now is his grandma's old house that he just moved into. He never met her because he's adopted. Okay, laundry done, your PC gets a notification that you hear from downstairs. Go back up and a girl messages you from a dating site. Some talking goes on and we learn that she lives next door. She also says weird things seem to happen in his grandma's house and that people were always coming and going. She wants him to explore and find out what his grandma was up to, but instead he gets off saying he's going to bed. Then he goes into the attic to explore anyway. In the attic is some strange ritualistic book, and inside that book is a hand to the clock downstairs. After he puts it back on the clock, there's a sound in the attic, so he goes back up. There's a gun over there by that book, and it seems like it fired on its own or something. This is where the game starts getting freaky. A bunch of zeros appear on the wall, and that's also the code for the clock. Solving that puzzle drops a key from the clock, which is for the desk upstairs in the attic. The desk has a flashlight and also a calendar. The calendar shows the date that his grandma died, as if she expected to die on that day. I go back and talk to Martha on the dating site, and she wants me to now explore the room with the padlock on it. The code to the lock was the day that his grandma died. Inside the room is a rocking chair, a crib, and some toys. The building blocks can be interacted with, and it spells out, "Hope you like your new house, grandson." Spooky. I go to the PC to update Martha, but then this happens. A female ghost, spirit, demon, I have no idea what, but it peeks its head out at me. I go around the corner and she's gone. While talking to Martha, the power goes out. I have to find the breaker box, which is in the kitchen. That freaky demon pops up again though. One thing I noticed is that this game's graphics looks really good, but the character graphics and the character animations are a little off. They look a little wonky sometimes. This house is spooky. The demon likes to pop up randomly, freaking you out, and there's creaks and steps and bumps all over the house, making me look over my shoulder nonstop. I talked to Martha on the PC some more, and she says she's going to come over. I also see the demon a couple more times, and then eventually I got into a room with a piano. It took me a hot minute to figure out the correct combination for this puzzle. There's paintings around the house that have colors and numbers on them. After finishing that puzzle, a room opens up and my character looks into it. Then Martha appears in the house and says, "Daniel, no." Then there's a loading screen that says Daniel stays the night at Martha's house, and then both get into Daniel's car to find more information about his past. I really want to know what the heck was in that room. What a tease. Also, how the heck did Martha get inside? Anyways, now they're both driving in the car, and this is where you can make some dialogue choices. Also, there's some big info revealed here. I'll summarize. Martha knew that you'd be moving in and has been waiting for you for a few years. She says she knew because she knows stuff about his family. Martha reveals that Daniel had a brother and a sister, and that his mom did not die in childbirth like he thought. In fact, she was murdered, but was also pregnant with Daniel at the time. Now think about that crazy scene from the beginning. It's looking like that was his family. Martha reveals that she is also adopted and that she was injured pretty badly. It turns out that Martha is that little girl that was shotgunned in the beginning scene. Apparently she survived and has only recently been remembering her memories. She's been digging into their family ever since. Big reveal over. Martha is his older sister. Daniel asks why their father would do that. and Martha reveals that their grandma was into some messed up secret society stuff. Martha claims that the cult their grandma was a part of made their grandma brainwash their father into killing their family somehow. Apparently, the cult had a very specific need, a child born of extreme trauma, as that child would make the perfect vessel when it came of age. Vessel for what? Still unsure, but it can't be good. Also, it just happens that Daniel's 18th birthday is today, so he is now of age. Martha is taking them to a cemetery that is supposedly where their family was buried. She says she needs to know if their dad is also buried there, as it'll help her decide what to do next. Then a giant tree falls across the road, and Martha tells Daniel to go on along to the cemetery without her, and that she will catch up. She wants to stay back at the car and set up some sort of birthday surprise for him. Then she pulls out a golden pistol, of all things, which was very random, though she explains that she stole it from their grandma during some ritual, and that all of the cultists treated the gun like it was important. Anyways, she gives Daniel the gun and then stays back to set up the surprise. She kept pointing it at Daniel's general direction before she gave it to him though, which made me uncomfortable. I half expected her to shoot him on accident. This next part in the forest is long, very long. I recorded for about 2 hours and I got to the forest around the 1 hour mark, and for the next hour it was all forest. In fact, I was still in the forest when I ended my recording as well. Right away, the scenery is stunning. Everything looks so good. The lighting changes to dark, bright, and foggy very often. Many times I came across a fork in the path and had to choose one. Sometimes they were dead ends, though. The entire time in the forest, I came across ammo crates. Your pistol can only hold so much ammo, so those crates are needed. The sounds of those smaller creatures when they get shot are horrendous and gives me goosebumps. When monsters die, they disappear, which is a little sad. I'd prefer the bodies to stick around for more atmosphere. The bigger creatures look scarier and also take more shots to kill, but they're slow. They're moderately scary, I guess, but those little fast ones are terrifying. I've had them charge at me suddenly, and dang, that's freaky. As I was walking, I heard something weird. I took a look and saw a demon child glitch into the ground. I honestly think that's more frightening than if it wasn't glitched. After a long while of walking through the forest, killing creatures and being jump scared, I came across a statue. I don't know what the heck that was, but let's forget about it together. After a lot more walking through the creepy woods, I came across a boy ghost or something, and he's pointing to the left. So I of course followed his advice and went that way. I'm sure he has my best interests at heart. Then he disappeared.
What is that?
A lot of times the forest makes creaks or like something's in the grass or bushes, and it really kept me on edge forever. Eventually I came across a giant creature. It's massive. I really did not expect that from this game at all. The first go around the creature jumped at me, and then I was perpetually stuck between the trees and its body. My game actually crashed at this point also. The second time around, the gun would not aim or shoot. It was a weird glitch. I had to restart again. Third time's the charm though, because this time it all worked well. After I defeat it, a loading screen appears saying that I made it to the cemetery, and then Daniel calls Martha. When you walk further in, you talk to Martha again, and now she shows the birthday gift that she had been working on this whole time. The fireworks were unexpected and cool, but frankly, I would have much preferred her to be with me the whole time, because walking through that forest alone for an hour kept me on edge, and that sucked. This area is where I called it quits. This game definitely has its faults. The characters are a little iffy in all areas, and I had some glitches as well. This game is surprisingly good in my eyes. The graphics, besides the characters, are all amazing. The game looks really good. Also, this is one of the only games I've actually been a bit frightened of in recent memory. I think the horror atmosphere is amazing in this game. I was always nervous walking around the house, and walking around the forest I felt exactly that same way. Even though this game is very linear, I really enjoyed it. One of the best horror games I've played recently. The story itself is actually interesting as well, and I want to know what's going on. What was the cult that the grandma was a part of? What are they planning for Daniel? I just can't get over how much I enjoyed this game. That's my personal opinion though. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.